But what's been right there a strategy internally to say, hey, if we do want to go after mass adoption, if we want to go after major gamers, we do have to have some sort of tactic to be able to battle a Steam and tell them, hey, we're a game, but also at the same time battle the reviews, and at the same time drive a fun game, right? At the end of the day, an immersive game that will get people to want to download and sign up for wish lists.
Yeah, no, 100%. I couldn't agree with you more as well about making the game the focus. I think that's the problem, is that a lot of people get caught up in if it's come from a token or an NFT collection. And I think things are changing. I've definitely noticed in my industry that because the opportunities have been sparse because of, kind of talk of recessions and, the animation industry being in a hard place, that people are now turning to Web3 more openly and being like, well, this isn't a necessary move now, that we need to come here and look for opportunities. So I think there will be a shift, and it's happening right now. But despite that, we do feel like we have to kind of put a little bit of a gap between the Web3 release and the Web2 release. So what we're doing is in Web3, we're trying to hit as big an audience as we can on the Solana gaming. And obviously speaking to guys like yourself who have such an amazing community, we are releasing, we're porting Gorecats to the PSG1. And we should find out next week if we get approval for that. So that build's being done as we speak.
If PSG1 is watching this and they don't approve it, man, I'm telling you right now, I will come find you guys. I will come find you on PSG1 team.
Hunt them down. When I saw the console, I was hooked, right? Because like same as you, I'm a nostalgic gamer, so it kind of reminded me of a Game Boy, and I'm like, man, I got to get Gorecats on there. And it's set up to play like an arcade game, so I think it would fit perfectly. So for us, let's try and get as much eyes on the game as we can and get it into as many hands as we can in Solana. But then aside from that, we have a more, I guess, Web2 strategy, which is to put the game on itch, like an early build, and get people excited. We've set up socials, and we've had to actually separate, for example, Discord and our X account, and make a new one for the Web2 space, just for those reasons that you say, because you get that odd prejudice in Web2 that people come and see the token talk and they get confused and they think it's a scam and all this stuff. So we're trying to kind of tread the line and, as you said, make the game the forefront, and apply to Steam with the game, and just say, look, we've made this demo, will you guys take it on? And then we'll try and establish a publisher from that point and see if we can get it up there. But like I say, the game could also find its own life on Solana and Web3 as well. So it's kind of two angles with the same product.
Yeah, and I really love that, right? Because I think like one thing actually, man, I say this to a lot of founders, and I'll say it here as well. And I'm sure people have heard this before from me, but it's like, I got to travel to so many conferences, and I can't tell you how many conferences I'll go to, and I'm talking to, parts of the Web3 industry where they're like, there's a gaming vertical? That's so cool. That actually makes a lot of sense. And I'm like, dude, we've had a gaming vertical for like years, right? Yeah. Like you start naming some of like the old school games that helped, the whole space shift. And they're just like, yeah, they've been so much in their bubble, but they are gamers, right? Like there are gamers. And it's like, how do we even first tackle all the Web3 users before we even hit the Web2 user, right? Like that's my whole thing. Like sometimes we just forget that we haven't even actually like done the mass market to Web3, let alone to the Web2. And I think you have enough in Web2, and I think in Web3. And I think that I always say in Web3, at least go do the mass market, because they're more susceptible to understanding why they're buying a token. You don't have to go try to, give the financial advice and be on that. Like, hey, I don't know if I want to say this, but I'm going to say it. And then, whatever. But, I think, it's how do we make sure that we've done the first circle before we move to the next circle? And I think you're clearly on the same page.